am I?
Because at a certain point, you can just delete it because you know you don't need it at that point. So you grab hold, just check it. I don't need it. No, I just
What's the difference actually?
brain hemorrhage would be deleted. A concussion is a brain hemorrhage.
Oh. Aren't they isn't like a bruise caused by
Yeah, yeah. The blood coalesces. It's not actively being. Yeah. Tissue. A tissue. There's blood there. Like,
Yeah.
tissue.
That sounds like it'd be the worst thing in anatomy, or what's not brain.
We barely. I mean, we did good. It's pretty straightforward. It's only so
I
much.
feel like the tennis would be the hardest.
There's a lot of so much.
I feel like the tennis would be harder to remember.
We didn't memorize it. We tried to do like one for me.
It wasn't like every single time.
We had to memorize a bunch of bones and a bunch of muscles. We didn't have to do too many tendons.
I feel like the bombs would be so many of them that you would just be like mixed.
There's like 206.
They kind of have like a pattern now.
I mean, a lot of it's just you can use vocab to deduce like a prefix and tell you what it is. Like if it says so and so radial bone, you know it's on the radial side of your arm. Yep. It's almost like language is designed that way. Never. What the heck? So, I didn't order my planner in time, so here's my planner for the next 2 weeks.
Oh no.
That looks
When's your planner come in?
next week sometime, I think. I waited.
Why scribble? Just
It's
erase the
satis-
stupid thing.
I enjoy how much frustration my planner is. Nick especially. It's all on there though.
It's all there.
And I have like grocery list on here too. Yeah.
Because for no
I know it sucked, but that was literally all.
Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It's fine. Yeah.
This one's better.
No, that's what it is. We had to do it because that's what works.
Yeah, because 3 p.m. on Friday was.
No, that would
That
have been
was
worse.
so bad. No, I only have to pay for this month. It's not a subscription.
I think good news is going to subscription.
That's what I use though. Is it going to subscription? Let's do it. Yeah, I just paid $3 for it.
Go on. Get it over with.
What was your rating?
321.
I call this meeting of the South Dakota Mines Student Association Senate to order, starting with roll call and approval of proxies.
Roxy Dominguez,
Here.
Archer, Cantz,
Here.
Fernandez, Fink,
Here.
Harder,
Here.
Durkee,
Here.
Keo,
Here.
Leonard,
Here.
Lindworm,
Here.
Lockwood,
Here.
Plank,
Here.
Nedved,
Here.
Pilling,
Here.
Sattler,
Here.
Sharp, Seekman,
Here.
Smith,
Here.
Tome,
In attendance.
Weed, Winter,
Here.
Fairfield.
Fantastic. I know the agenda was sent out relatively early ago. Sam woke up this afternoon with a bad fever and was sick. So does anyone have anything they'd like to add to the agenda? Resolutions or anything like that? Wonderful. Then the agenda will be approved with unanimous consent. Minutes were also sent out relatively recently. Does anyone have any changes for the minutes? board guests or new business for today or any unfinished business from breaks for us to go through relatively quickly? Do we have any open discussion concerning anything for this semester? Anything at all, please? Go ahead.
There's been some complaints that, students are getting dress coded in the King Center. I was gonna bring that to the 17th.
Working out.
Like, we're going out, yeah. So there's been at least 3 different people that are pretty upset about it, so. Just letting you know.
Dress code in what way? Like the
These-
boots or the?
No, she was wearing spaghetti straps and she was told she couldn't wear spaghetti straps.
Anyone else have anything constructive to add to this? Wonderful. Any more open discussion to bring up? Does anyone have a fun story from break they'd like to share with us? Open discussion.
I got a puppy.
Senator Tone.
What are the school's rules on pursuing students that make their own sweatshirts with the school's logos?
I know, I would talk to Marlon. From my opinion, they would have to pay the licensing fees.
All right, good to know.
But confirm with Marlon.
Okay.
I mean, and whatever else you would have to be as organized to do for business or whatever.
All right.
But I think if you pay the licensing fees,
And how much is that?
it's like $100.
Okay.
First year, and
All
I was
right.
like $50 to renew.
Okay.
But visit with Marlon. This
All
is
right,
expert.
good to know.
Senator
Afraid he's gonna be like making shirts in the alleyway.
Is that for like personal use or?
Yeah, potentially.
The other thing that you may, I just don't know, like if you're doing personal, like, usually you have to charge people for like the royalty fees
Yeah.
or whatever, so like he can walk you through the whole process.
All right, good to know.
Senator Leonard.
So even if you're not selling the shirts, you have to pay a licensing fee for you to personally wear the shirt?
No. So like, for example, when we buy the awards, for the Hall of Fame and those kind of things, when it has the logo on it, we get that from a local business. They charge us like a royalty fee, comes back when we were purchasing that, but then it's the responsibility of the company. They just have to renew those licenses every year with the university. So you personally wearing it wouldn't have to.
All right.
I just don't know if you would be responsible for it.
All right.
Any other constructive discussion to this? Any more open discussion? Senator Harvey.
Have we heard anything further on rebranding? I've been approached by a couple of people that have sent a few emails in and have heard nothing.
Yeah, this is going to be a discussion point during the CFO's report. Anything else? Wonderful. Then we'll move on to the CFO report.
So we're gonna see 2 kind of rebranding resolutions next week. One specifically for Clean Studio, and the other one to load more money, I believe, into rebranding. Sam's kind of the rebranding guy though, but this should pretty much finalize rebranding for us, so we don't have to keep doing this thing where people are reaching out and nothing's really happening. It's a little bit frustrating. As far as finance for Senate goes, these next 2 weeks are probably going to be busy because we'll be working on questions for presentations. I received all of the applications, most of them by the deadline, and so we'll be doing that the next 2 weeks. End of report.
And just to clarify, if there's any questions, we are not opening any more rebranding cases. The deadline is now closed, so the only items for rebranding that are continuing work are those that have opened an application for rebranding before the end of fall semester. Any questions for CFO Van Ruler? Awesome. Now we'll move on to the Vice President report. Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed your breaks. So I've got a couple things I'd like to discuss today, starting with the in-person Student Federation meeting that was planned in Brookings for the end of finals week last semester. I'm sure you'll all be happy to know that using Senate funds, I traveled all the way to Brookings, got there, and was able to meet quorum for the meeting. So it's a good thing that there were other things on the agenda for the next 2 days, because the main item on the docket, we had 3 or 4 people in attendance and we needed 8 to meet quorum. So that was pretty disappointing. But aside from that, all was not lost. There was a social held with the South Dakota State Student Senate and local legislators and some members of the Board of Regents. So I got to hang out with SDSU's Student Senate for the afternoon, and their one senator that represents the School of Engineering there was pretty curious to talk to me about what our school is like being just a school of engineering. He had a funny question to ask me of like, what is it like going, or he's like, how does funding work for GAF at your guys' College of Engineering? And I was like, well, funny you ask, the whole school is a College of Engineering, so we don't really have this whole luxury of different colleges funding things because we don't have a College of Humanities and so on. So, but it was a good social. I was able to discuss with SDSU senators things that we've been working on in our student senate as well as some members of the VOR. One interesting thing to keep in mind is SDSU ran some numbers on their budget for this past semester, and they did note that they are actually beginning to run a deficit in GAF. It is much less dramatic than ours, and being a large school, they have a pretty big savings built up, so it's not any concern for them at the moment, but they've noticed they are beginning to run a deficit, and they said that they're going to have to pursue a GAF increase like us to start advertising for them within the next couple of years. So they won't hop on the train like us and DSU have this year, but they said they've noticed it, they understand the situation, they'll begin it in the next couple of years. Aside from that, there was also there was a Board of Regents meeting that also occurred there, where it was essentially a meeting very similar to how we conduct ours, but just with all the regents themselves. And I got to sit in and watch that, and they went through and all the things I mentioned in my final report in December, like the quantum computing certificates and all those things, were approved with unanimous consent by the Board of Regents. So anything that was on the docket for that was approved and will be in place, I believe, this semester or in the fall semester, whenever they decided that those are going to place. So that was how the Brookings trip went. So all was not lost. Let's see. Spring faculty and staff convocation is coming up. President Kessinger and I are planning on attending. That way we can hopefully be an open floor guest for the convocation and just tell faculty and staff of the school, since this is their one time a semester, they really get together, have a State of the Union address from President Rankin. We'll get up there during open floor and give just a brief minute-long thing on this is Student Senate, this is when we meet. You guys can come and find us here, and these are some of the things that we've been doing. And then with SHED coming up very soon, expect to see an open floor guest from local representative Jeff Partridge that GR is going to be working on reaching out to, because Jeff Partridge is really good at coming in here and helping talk about how to talk to legislators when we go off to SHED. And he's able to give us some insight on what topics are going to be being discussed at SHED and what feelings on some of those things might be. And then the last thing on SHED is we will see a bill tracker in here in 2 weeks. So 2 weeks from today we'll be discussing bill tracking stuff as SHED comes up. So there's a lot of stuff I covered. What are any questions that people have? Yeah.
Do we know what day SHED is?
Yeah, January 29th. Correct? 28th? So January 28th is SHED. Give me just a second, I'm sorry. I have an email to say about this.
Wednesday of capitalism, Monday, 29th.
Yeah. Yep, it says, according to Student Federation, we'll be getting there for, yeah, yep, you're free to leave on the 29th because SHED will be done. So, well, so you know what, they're all backwards. We'll have to figure this out again because they're saying that SHED starts at 7:30 in the morning on the 29th.
Yeah.
So, mine says not the 29th, mine says the 30th.
I think we leave on the 29th for Mine's Day, is how it's confusingly worded, maybe.
Sunday is the.
President Rankin's message said, during the legislative session, we're holding an annual Lions Day at the Capitol on Monday, January 29th from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m.
Okay.
So we just need to confirm.
We will have to confirm this because Student Federation says that Shed is on the 29th. So, I'm sorry, but it is that general weekend. So, we'll either be leaving, we'll more than likely be leaving to attend Pier on Sunday the 28th. So that is our first night of hotel reservations from Student Federation. So
I would say that usually makes sense because you usually miss one day of classes, which would be Monday, and come back. So I'll confirm the dates.
I'm sorry for all the confusion. I know this is frustrating. Any other questions? Any at all? Cool. All right. So we're supposed to be moving on to the president's report. Sam has not gotten back to me, so we're going to move forward with no president's report as of right now. I think the only thing that he would have would be that he is talking with Darcy Briggs about having her come in here to talk about the HLC visit in the next couple weeks. So, but I'm sure he'll have more to talk about that because I'm no longer on that email chain. So, does anyone have any questions to pass on to Sam? Wonderful. If not, then we will move on to committee reports. Point of report starting with the international report. Okay, any questions? The veteran report.
No report.
Any questions? Graduate report. This is exciting. Any questions? Non-trad?
Nothing.
Cool. All right. Any questions for non-trad?
I'm sorry, can I
Yeah,
back
go
up?
right ahead.
So with international report, so the director of the IVNOW International Center, Miss Susie Adler, she's announced her retirement for this summer. I know, yes, but she has served South Dakota Mines for should be almost 35 years. So a group of us are planning that what that will look like, and we'll certainly have a gathering that students can attend. So we'll just be working closely, and more information to come. But it'll be here before we know it. We'll definitely do that before students leave for the semester.
And then one real quick for veterans. So the VRC renovation has begun. So the VRC has been relocated to the V Lab. So if people are looking, we'll do our best to describe how to get there. We're going to be working on some signage once you enter that building, but just if people are looking for that, they'll be out there probably at least until April.
Okay, I'm sorry for skipping over you guys.
No,
you were
didn't.
slow. Those were just
Any comments for our appointed senators or questions, concerns? Wonderful. Moving on to committee reports, starting with Constitution.
Welcome back, y'all. Hope you're ready to tackle another semester. I'm hoping to work on our Constitution changes this semester. Probably dedicate all my efforts there. We'll also be looking at our bylaws. As a side note, I would urge y'all to actually read what you are elected to abide by, if you haven't done that. So, I'm looking forward.
Any questions for Senator Lee? Well, moving on to PR.
Tomorrow is the org fair, and we are just about done setting up for all of that. I'll still take some volunteers to set up, take down, work the booth, whatever, if you just want to show up. We are still working on our plan for the big GAF vote. I spent today working on a flyer with all the information on that to give out to the students, and I'll be working on some other stuff for that. So when that is ready to go, my plan is, I think it might be informative and a good way to get out there to make little videos about, from different students' perspectives about why they think that you should vote yes on the GAP increase. I was thinking like we get somebody from camp, get somebody on the org, get an athlete, something like that. So I might be reaching out to some people in the next few days to help me get in contact with the right people for that project. And I have, lastly, the ballroom meeting dates for this semester. We are in the ballroom on January 17th, February 28th and March 6th. January 17th, February 28th, and March 6th.
Or are there any changes to those?
There will be, but we'll just talk about it in an email. Construction's starting to start, so we may have to adjust some stuff there.
Yeah, these are, I can follow up with
Yeah,
her.
but we'll get that. Okay.
Okay, you got it? Okay.
Yep.
And that's all I had. Oh, our semester meeting time will be Wednesdays at 2 p.m.
Senator Seaman, thank you very much for all the work you've put into GAF and for the work that's been extremely helpful this first week. Any questions for public relations? Well, moving on to GR.
So I'm currently working on reaching out to Jeff Partridge on an email, which I'll send to you shortly. And then I was told that we were supposed to get we are going to get a bill tracker for our for shed on this Friday, and I'm going to have my committee write sort of summaries and present that to you all probably next week, right?
I was told the bill tracker will be to us not this Friday, but next Friday, as in 10 days from now, or 9 days from now.
10 days.
Yeah.
Okay. That's good. That's good to know. Okay, so I guess not next week, but the week after, the week before we are shed, we will present those bills to you, and we will take a vote on those. So be prepared for that, and then obviously shed's coming up, so a lot of fun. And for our meeting times for our committee is at 3 p.m. on Mondays now. So, yeah.
You should all be looking forward to the bill tracker meeting. It is so exciting.
Yeah.
All gonna love it.
So, yeah, that's all I have, and you should be getting that email here very shortly.
Any questions for GR? Okay, moving on to SA.
So, currently my committee is me and Senator Winter. So, we are going to be working on adding 2 more people back to our committee here. But right now we don't really have much to say.
Yeah, Joe.
Yes, well, I'm planning to bring 2 things to the Student Affairs Committee. Either all 2 of you or all 4 of you. So just a heads up. One, we wanted to solidify we've got some monetary donations for the food pantry. If any of you have seen that big shelving in the Surbeck, it's out in the hallway. Want to make sure that we're ordering the right food that students are looking for. It seems like most of the stuff goes, but then sometimes we get just like dry pinto beans and they sit for months and months. So want to connect with the Student Affairs Committee to see, okay, what's the best thing we can be ordering? And the second thing, there's some interest from faculty in setting up if any of you have seen the show, I think it's only on YouTube, Hot Ones, where celebrities eat progressively hotter and it's like interview style. So they'd like to set up where we do that with like 2 competing faculty members. And I think it might be kind of cool. Maybe we can work with folks upstairs and do some scholarship donations. You know, hey, alumni, if we have a faculty from physics and a faculty from whatever, geology, who's going to win, donate, you know, pick your team kind of thing. So I'll reach out and see if we can set that up.
That sounds great.
Any questions for SA? Yes,
Did you ever get those QR codes for the boxing?
They're up in the res hall.
They're posted inside the residence halls, yes.
Well, we are working on making them all the other buildings.
Any other questions for SA? And just a side note before we move on to campus and ad hoc committees, note for e-board, we are not having a meeting this week as we'll be spending our time tomorrow setting up for the board fair. But remember that our meeting time for weeks this semester will be Thursdays at 10 a.m. in the Senate office. So, but please, if you're free tomorrow, come help out setting up the board fair. And that goes for any other senators that would also like to help out for the board fair. It goes from 11 to 1 tomorrow, right? Recorded? Yes. Wonderful. So, please stop on by. So, any campus or ad hoc committees? Go ahead.
I'm on the SAC committee, so you can talk to me about getting an athlete for a video for what you're talking about.
Yes.
That's all I got.
That's a after tomorrow problem.
Any other campus or ad hoc committees? Yes,
I'm
Senator.
gonna start reaching out to the head of IT to see what I can do about the cameras for the base. I know Corey said that Tony said there's still a few that need to be installed. I don't know which ones they are, so I can know about that as well.
Thank you. Any other campus or ad hoc committees? Awesome. Any upcoming Senate business we should discuss?
Or fair.
That's right. Work fair tomorrow, 11 to 1. We're going to be starting setting up at 10 or a tad after. Come meet us in the ballroom if you're free at all. It's huge help.
Not Senate, but next week is college night for the Rush game, so if you want to get some cheap tickets and go watch the Rush game, you should go.
Thanks, Senator Nevitt. Any other announcements? Yes.
Okay, so we will be in the back ballroom the rest of January, and then on the 31st, we may need some help resetting that space, so when we get closer to that, we'll remind people, but we will be in Surbac the rest of January, and then we will play February by year.
So should I go get those flyers I just sent to be put in the dorms today? That had the old dates on them? Yes?
We can grab
We can get other ways of getting the word out too.
I just figured those were
I mean,
nice.
something could change, but as of right now, we have to shuffle everything out here for
Okay,
January.
I'll go get those then.
We can get those out of the office tonight. I can get you in there. Okay. Any other announcements we should be aware of? Yes, Senator Winter.
Unfortunately, the Loch Ness Monster has taken control of the North Pole and has just told me there's 350 days till Christmas.
That is a darn
Right around the corner.
Dr. Joe.
Yes, so I heard this rumor now twice in the last week. The Luther House, which sits right here on St. Joe, the home of usually about 6 students rent that out, part of the Lutheran Campus Ministries. It's not being torn down, it's not being sold or demolished. So if you hear that rumor, please help me dispel it. It's owned by this organization, CARA, and they rent it to Lutheran Campus Ministries. But I've heard nothing that in the short, like in the next 5 years, that should still be there, available for students. So please help me dispel that rumor.
Wonderful. All right, entertaining any motions. Senator Lee.
Motion to adjourn.
Senator Landry.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say sign. Meeting adjourned.
But you know the 70s.
Oh, that's cool.